In this exercise, we will finish our high-low game. So we will annotate some variables available in the guess page, and we will implement the very choice method. And finally, we will use the activate and passivate mechanisms, which allow us to put all the interesting variables into the URL of our page. In the guess.tml, we will use the loop component, which will allow us to display a list of numbers from 1 to 10. So we will use the invisible instrumentation, so with the span HTML tag to type loop. Tsource is all the data you want to display, so we want to display all the numbers, all the digits between 1 and 10, and we can specify another interesting parameter, value, which will allow us to store the current value of the loop component. So this variable will be stored in the guess variable declare in the guess class. So this variable is declared here. So Tapestry needs a getter and setter methods for this variable, because it will try to set this method after each iteration of the loop component. So in this loop, we will add an action link for each digit. So we will add a HTML tag, ttype action link, tid link, and for each action link we will give to it a context value with the tContext parameter, and this context will be the current value of our source. So we will use the same variable guess. So with this context, we will be able to use it in the method which will catch the action event. We will see it in the guess class. And finally, we will just display the current value by using an expansion. So that's okay. For this TML, we just add a block, a div block here, which will display the message variable using the expansion. This message will give to the user some information about the game, if its choice is too high or too low, for example. So in the guess Java, we will annotate the message a variable with the @persist annotation, because after each request all the variable will be reset, so we have to store it in session. So we will use @persist annotation, but we can use the flash mechanism. So after the first access to this variable, it will be reset just after that. So that's okay. We have to annotate again a welcome page, so we have to use the @inject page. It's okay, just setter and getter. And then we have the verify choice, which will be executed when a user clicked on one of our action link. So we can have access to the context value of the action link. You just have to put one parameter to the method, and Tapestry we will map automatically the context of the action link with the parameter of this method. So int user choice. In this method, I can verify if the choice of the user is too high or too low by checking with the target value. If the user choice is equal to the target, it succeeded, and we will redirect the user to the welcome page. If the choice is too high or too low, we will set the message variable, and we will redirect the user to the guess page. Okay. Now we want to use the activation and passivation mechanisms. This mechanism will allow us to store some variables into the URL of the page. So we can annotate the interesting variable with some @persist or @session_state annotations, but we can also put them in the URL. So if you don't want to store everything into the session, we can use the activation and passivation mechanism. So we just have to annotate two methods with the activate and passivate event with the onEvent notation. The passivate method will return all the data you want to put in the URL. So here I just want to put in the URL the guess, count, and seed values. So I just return an array of integer. That's all. And Tapestry will put all the data in the URL automatically. And the activate method will return the current state of the page thanks to the data available in the URL. So you have to put as parameters of the method all the variables available in the URL. So we have to be careful with the order. So I have to have the same order as the passivate method. So guess, count, and seed. And I can return the current state of the page. So here I just recalculate the target variable. And that's all. If we test our game, so start Halo game, and you can see that all our data are available in the URL. So the first one is I don't remember, is guess, so I don't make any choice, so it's 0, count, and seed. If I click on one link, the URL has been updated. The first one 4, my last choice, the count has been updated, and the seed is the same. So I can continue my game. Is to 5, and we will return to the welcome page. So okay, and in the welcome page I just have to display the successful message. We set this message with the set message from Halo method. So in the welcome.java we can see this method there. We can see this method there, set message from Halo. So in the welcome TML we can display it by using an expansion again, but we would like to use an if component, so we will declare this component with the span HTML tags, and we will identify the testing method last Halo game. So Tapestry, we will look to get last Halo game in the welcome page. This method will return a boolean value. So in this class, just there, we have a get last Halo message, which will return true or false if the message from Halo is null. And again, we have to annotate the message from Halo with the @persist annotation, because after each request we will lose it.